Welcome to PJNet Live. Retire McCain, and we are going on a road trip, and I am going to take you inside the inner sanctum of the Kelli Mobile, where we will be joined by Dr. Kelli Ward and her good friend, former United States Congressman Tom Tancredo. Now, for those of you that don't know Tom Tancredo, he is the very architect of border security, served in the United States Congress from 1998 to 2008 in House District 6 in Colorado. That's basically the southern suburbs of Denver. And Dr. Ward, thanks for inviting us into your RV.
Hey, yeah, we're in the Kelli Mobile. That's why it's a little bouncy. You know, we're driving down the road. This is an excellent campaign tool, I'll tell you, because it's got my face, which is gigantic, which was very scary the first time I ever saw it. But also my name across the side, U.S. Senate, our website, our Facebook page, our Twitter. And so we are every day driving around this great state of Arizona, spreading the word that we're ready to change Washington by changing the people we send there.
Well, now you've got to win, because it's going to be hard to sell that RV. I've always wondered, could I buy the Newt Gingrich campaign bus? Should be able to get a good deal.
Guys lease it out and they just stick a few stickers on it. But this is ours, our 1989 Takes Arrow. It is no luxury mobile, believe me, but it gets the job done.
Okay. I'm very glad that you were able to bring your good friend, Tom, on board, because border security is an issue across this country. Immigration is an issue across this country. But Tom, not exactly a new issue. You were on this in 1998.
Yes, I ran for Congress, and this was one of the, I guess you call it my signature issue. And I stayed with it. And actually, even before I was in Congress, I was concerned about border issues and immigration in general. And that's, I think it's the most significant public policy issue with which the Congress has to deal. And it is uniquely, by the way, a congressional issue. The immigration system is something that is designed and supposedly implemented by Congress, turned over to the executive, of course, for enforcement.
Tom, I'm not looking at a map, but I'm trying to envision the state of Colorado. Who exactly are you bordering that you were trying to secure yourself from?
Arizona. You guys are the doorway, but we're the house they come into after they go through through the door.
Well, everybody wants to go to Colorado. You just have to go through Arizona to get there. I mean, that's just...
Yep. Border security is national security. If we don't have a secure border, then how do we expect to keep people who want to harm us from coming into this country? It isn't just people from Mexico who love this country who want to work. There are people other than Mexicans coming across that border, and many of them have been empowered over in the Middle East. They have been, we've created a vacuum here, with our foreign policy. John McCain, Hillary Clinton, invade the world, invite the world, and they've emboldened those elements over there. And then our open border has opened wide a pathway for people to come here and do us harm. And we've seen it. We've seen it in San Bernardino. There are bodies everywhere from Benghazi to Orlando, and it's got to stop.
Going back to Tom, why did this become, you're telling us that even in Colorado it was a big issue, but how did this come to your mind? How does it impact the ordinary citizen, that's maybe not that politically active?
Sure. Well, the very first time I ever really became acquainted with it was in about 1975 when I was teaching school in Colorado, and Colorado was the first state in the nation to pass a bilingual education bill. It was a disaster. It was a disaster for Hispanic kids, and I kept wondering, who thought of this? What a stupid idea! You're taking kids out of classes where they were,
Okay. For our audience out there, we are using a Wi-Fi connection to do this interview, and as many of you are noting, the audio is coming and going. We're just gonna keep going. Dr. Ward, the immigration issue has almost entirely framed your race because of the incumbent. What do you propose to do? I mean, didn't the incumbent say he was going to build the dang fence? Now, are you saying you're going to build the fence? Why? Why should we believe you? He's had plenty of time.
These are free education, healthcare, housing, money, free money. Those things have to be turned off for the people that are, coming here illegally. That can't be. So it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of backbone. It's going to take a lot of willpower. Big bump. Sorry about that. That's the Kelli Mobile for you. It's going to take a lot of work to be able to do it, but I do not think it's impossible. Now, if Donald Trump is our president and John McCain is still our senator in Arizona, I think there's going to be a lot of conflict and a lot of difficulty. That we're getting people behind us to be able to do the job that needs to be done.
Okay. Dr. Ward, I know that you've been busy on the campaign trail. Now, August 3rd starts the early voting. What is the impact in your area, your state, of early voting? Is it predominantly early, or is it late, or what's the mix?
It kind of mixes across the board. Early voting does start on August 3rd, and our primary is August 30th. About a third of the voters, vote in that first week and a half. They're the people who have already made up their mind. Mm-hmm. The people who are still kind of out there feeling their way, trying to find out what's happening, looking for the person that they want to vote for, kind of wait a little bit longer. And then there are always those diehards who want to vote on election day mm-hmm. to be sure that their votes are counted. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of concern about, will there be shenanigans about the vote? And mm-hmm. and a lot of people are concerned about my particular election in particular, because it is such an important election. A lot of people think that other than the presidential, this one is one of the biggies, because John McCain has been there for nearly 4 decades. He provides a lot of cover for Republicans to vote the wrong way, and we've got to rip that cover right off so that we can expose what's happening in the inner belly of the Beltway. The WikiLeaks, that had with the DNC emails, that's been pretty enlightening to a lot of people. I think it's showing that what a lot of people thought was happening actually is happening. And I think that that's what people are tired of. And that's why we have such an amazing opportunity to change Washington, and why I am winning at this point.
Dr. Ward, how did you come to intersect with Mr. Trancredo?
No,
I'm thinking Fandango. I'm a ZZ Top fan. Help me out here. How did you meet Tom?
Trancredo and I, when he heard that I was running, he actually reached out, and I reached out to him right at the beginning, before I even decided that I was going to run. Mm-hmm. He knew that we needed to have a change. He's fought a battle against John McCain again and again and again. When he was in Congress, John McCain was one of his biggest obstacles to securing that border. He's a big government guy. He's a Chamber of Commerce guy. And Tom often says that he had 2 problems when he was in D.C. that were keeping him from securing the border: the Democrats and the Republicans. The Democrats because they wanted votes, and the Republicans because they wanted cheap labor. And I don't think we've overcome that yet.
No. And that's right. This is an unholy alliance that has been made and has really and truly been so effective in stopping. And because people always ask me, well, if so many people, who doesn't want to secure the border? Really, most Americans would say, damn right, and yet it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen because the elites in both parties, frankly, agree with the status quo. It serves their interests, just not yours or mine. So when they're here talking to us in our states, in Colorado or in Arizona, when they're home, it's, oh yeah, let's build the dang wall. But when they go back there, it's, what do you want? Chamber of Commerce for the Republicans. Mm-hmm. And they surrender time and time again, hoping that you won't notice, mm-hmm. hoping that next time they run, they can make the same pitch as they made the first time, and you won't remember what they've done.
Yeah, you'll only remember their name, and that's it. I've challenged Senator McCain to a debate, just so you know, and I hope that people out there in the Twitterverse will continue to push that narrative so that his people know that we are serious, that the media knows that we're serious. I want to see a one-on-one debate between Senator McCain and me. He spent almost $2 million attacking me. He obviously has something he wants to say. So I say it to my face. Say it to my face. Stop stabbing me in the back. Let's debate this. Let's get those policies out on the table. But I will tell you, he's very, very fearful. He's very, very weak because over these last almost 40 years, he has a record, but he's not willing to stand on that record. He wants to instead put out negative attacks. And he himself said, if all you have are negative attacks, then you have no vision for the future. And I don't think he has a vision for the future. And I think the people want someone with a vision for the future. And that's why they're flocking to Dr. Kelli Ward as our next United States Senator from the great state of Arizona.
Okay. Well, Tom and Dr. Ward, thank you so much for joining us from the road. I apologize for any technical errors that occurred. We are on a Wi-Fi connection, and we will see how much of this actually comes through in the final end. But thank you so much for joining us today during our PJNet Retire McCain #rally.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So long.
See ya.
And folks, that was Dr. Kelli Ward together with her friend, former Congressman Tom Tancredo. And we were very fortunate to have an invitation into the Kelli Mobile as they're traveling down the road. And we'll look forward to getting things back underway. I'll turn the controls back over to Control Headquarters as we continue our #rally Retire McCain.